What is going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Living Freed channel. My name is Tyler Freed, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about why I continue to work in the trucking industry. If you're new to the channel, I appreciate you for being here, especially if you're somebody that's looking at trucking as a long-term career, or you're already in trucking, but you have no path, you have no plan, and you kind of just feel lost, you feel stuck. This will be a good video for you because I'm going to talk about how I'm using trucking to accomplish my goals, even outside of trucking, really. And the whole purpose of why I got into it and why I continue to do it. So why am I even talking about this? Well, because there's a lot of content around that surrounding the trucking industry, or as it pertains to the trucking industry, where people just talk negatively about it. They say, you know, the lifestyle's horrible as far as being an over-the-road driver goes. The career is terrible. There's no money in it. You know, starting a business in trucking is no good. Just yada, yada, yada. The industry is corrupt. The brokers are terrible. The dispatchers are terrible. Everything's bad in trucking, according to about 90% of the people that make content about the trucking industry. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of really great channels that talk positively about it, or they at least tell some truth, because I think a lot of the negativity is, it's very simple. I'll talk about why I think there's so much negativity, and then I'll get into what I'm doing with trucking, which I believe can help a lot of people. And for those of you that have watched my channel already, you've seen my videos, you know a lot of what I'm about to say, which is fine. And those of you that have a problem with me talking about the same message that I always deliver, I really don't care, because there's always new people that watch my channel. People aren't going to go back and watch every video I make about this. Also, you know, another thing is I have a message that I'm trying to get through to a lot of people, because a lot of people drive trucks. You know, this is one of the most common jobs out there, and I see it as such a great opportunity for so many to get into it and retire really wealthy. And a lot of that'll depend on your plan and discipline and everything like that. But, you know, I'm just going to go over what I've chosen to do. Again, like I said, I'm going to go over what I've chosen to do and what I plan to do, and continuing on going forward, what I plan to continue to do. And so let me address the negativity. Why, and I know a lot of you that are watching this video have seen what I'm talking about. Why is there so much negative content about trucking? Well, because the truth is if you become an over-the-road driver, you come in, you start with a company, you go over the road, you get your training, and you know, you stay with a company for a year to get your experience. Yeah, that is a lifestyle change. If you're used to working a 9 to 5, being home every day, every weekend you're off, you know, you see your friends, your family, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, that lifestyle change is pretty dramatic, really. But I'm going to tell you why that's not important. It shouldn't be important to you, because trucking is an opportunity to change your financial future, not only for yourself, but your family, and build generational wealth. Really, if you do a lot of what I'm talking about, you know, you can build generational wealth with trucking. You can do that in other careers, but I believe in trucking, you have a better opportunity of doing it than most career fields. And the biggest reason is because if you're somebody that's single, especially, whether you're a man or a woman, doesn't matter, you're single, you have no kids, or even if you're married, you know, you can take your spouse with you. Y'all could team drive. There's that opportunity, right? Especially if both of you have no kids, right? And, you know, you can live on the road. Like, you can get into trucking, you can train, get your experience, and then go and be solo and live on the road and have no bills, no house payment, no car payment. Just live on the road and stack your money. You could easily save 85 to 90% of your money doing that. Now, is everybody going to do that? No, they're not. A lot of people, like myself, I've never lived on the road and had no home. But I still was able to manage to do what I'm going to talk about. But that's why it really shouldn't matter to you whether you're giving that up, because it's not giving that up. You can always go home on home time and go hang out with friends and family. It's not like you have to stay out for months at a time. most companies make you stay out a couple weeks at a time, right? Even if it's OTR. Now, if you really want to make the most money and stack a lot of money, yeah, you want to stay out longer. The longer you stay out, the more money you make. That is true. You just have to decide how to balance that. I'm not here to tell you how to do that. But moral of the story, it's like, okay, what are you missing out on? Friends and family, they're all doing the same thing anyway. The point of getting into trucking should be, hey, I'm getting into this to change my financial life. I'm getting into this to make more money than most career fields pay and save more money than most people are able to save, because I don't have to have those bills that most people have, right? And so that is one of the biggest things. So for those of you that are doubting getting into this, if you have that situation where you're single or you're married, but y'all have no kids, man, y'all really need to think about trucking as a long-term career, because you can do exactly what I'm about to talk about here in a minute. So what did I do? Why did I get into trucking? And everybody has different goals as to why they get in. Well, I got in because I had the goal, before I even chose trucking as a career, I had the goal to be financially free by age 35. That was my goal. I was about 23 looking at trucking as a possible career path. And the reason why is because I knew that if I got into trucking, I could make the money that I needed to be able to save and invest to reach that goal, right? And so what is financial freedom, for those of you that are going to ask? Financial freedom for me is having the ability to live off about 3 to 4% of my invested portfolio. So, and pay all my expenses with that. So I'm withdrawing about 3 to 4% from all the money I have invested, and I'm able to pay all my bills, my housing, food, vacation, everything. Pay for that. That is financial freedom for me. So let's say my bills are 40 grand, for example, in a year. That's all my bill. That covers everything. Well, I would need $1 million invested to be able to withdraw $40,000 a year and be able to live my life, pay for my lifestyle, right? That's just an example. It's not exact numbers. I know some of you are going to say, oh, you need more than that. It's an example. That's what it is. For those of you that are going to make those comments and sound stupid, again, it's an example. It's not exact. Of course, everybody has everybody has different bills. Everybody has a different lifestyle they want to live. You have to figure out, how much money do I need to live on each year, and or how much do I need to live on each year, and how much do I need invested to withdraw 3 to 4% and not touch the principal. The goal is to pretty much live on that money, not touch the principal, and have that money continue to work for you going into the future and support your lifestyle, right? But that's financial freedom in a nutshell. Okay, so that was my goal coming in. So I knew, okay, if I want to be financially free by age 35, what do I got to do? What do I got to do? Well, I got to have a good job. I got to have a good job to where I can not only pay for all my bills and pay for my day-to-day living, but be able to save a lot of money. And that's why I chose trucking, as I alluded to earlier on in this video. And when I first got into trucking, I did not have any debt. Now, if you have debt, I always talk about, use trucking to pay off all your debt. Once you do that, you can live on a lot less of your income, because when you have no car payments, you have no student loan payments, you have no credit card payments, when you're out of debt, you have more of your income to be able to save and invest and get ahead. And so if you are in debt coming into trucking, use those first couple years and pay off all your debt. It's a perfect opportunity to do that and still live your life, right? Get out of debt. I always recommend save a 6-month emergency fund. I told you I came into trucking without any debt, but I did have to save up a 6-month emergency fund when I started. Then after that, okay, you're not going to reach financial freedom by just saving. I had to start investing, and that's what I did. I started investing in low-cost index funds. I buy the entire stock market held at market cap weight. So that's what I've been doing. I've been buying US and international stocks for the last 5 years, and I just did that consistently, and I saved about 50 to 60% of every check that I got when I was a company driver. I saved about 50 to 60% of my income and invested that in low-cost index funds, and I did that for 5 years. And in the last few months, over the last few months, I've been an owner operator. I just recently became one. And by doing that, that made it to where I had the ability to buy a truck cash, start my owner operator business cash, and begin my next phase of my trucking career. But some of you don't want to do that. You just have to figure out what your goals are. But moral of the story, I knew I wanted to be financially free by 35. And I knew I wanted to start a business in trucking. I knew I wanted to do that. Well, I'm not totally financially free yet. I'm about halfway there after 5 years. I started in trucking when I was 25. I started in trucking and now I'm 30. I'm halfway there, right? And, you know, I'm just continuing to do the same thing. Even though I became an owner operator, I didn't stop investing. I still invest every single time I get paid. I invest my money, or a portion of that, right? Now I gotta leave money in the business to run the business and pay myself and all that, but I still consistently invest in the market. You know, my situation's a little bit different as an owner op because, again, like I said, you gotta run your business. It's a little different, but really you can still save and invest your money and continue to do exactly, or I can continue to do exactly what I was doing, right? And I have. You know, but again, for most of you, you're not starting out with a lot of money. You're not starting out as an owner operator. So when you get in, all right, figure out, okay, I need to get out of debt, have an emergency fund. But after that, start investing. And what do you want to invest in? It just depends on what your goals are. Do you want to start a business? Do you want to invest in real estate? Do you want to invest in stocks? You know, you just got to get educated about what you want to do and then start doing that, right? The moral of the story is use trucking to get ahead financially. That's the moral of the story. That's what I'm doing. I'm using trucking to create financial freedom, right? Yes, I invested some money into the trucking business by buying a truck, becoming an owner operator and all that, but I'm still not putting 100% of my money into trucking. I don't want to do that, right? Because trucking is work. When I own a truck and I run a truck, yeah, I can make great money doing that, but it's not true freedom, because true freedom is, hey, I don't have to work for that money that I'm living on when I'm financially free, right? Trucking is earned income. Investing in low-cost index funds is passive income, right? Yes, I do have to work to make the investment, earn the money to be able to put into the investment, but over time, after 10, 15, 20 years of investing 50 to 60% of my income, I'll be totally financially free and never have to work again if I don't want to. I'm not preaching don't work. No, I think working is really good and healthy, but I do believe everybody should try to achieve financial freedom. And that's the point of my channel, is I'm trying to promote people using what they do, using their career to create that financial independence. That is what I've done. My goal before trucking was that's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to have financial independence by 35. And I know I'm going to hit that goal. I know I am, but I'm going to continue on past that, because my goal is to not just hit that, it's to grow within the industry I'm in, because I actually enjoy what I do. A lot of you need to understand that. I'm going to end with this. What's the point of trucking? That's the title of the video. What's the point of trucking? The point of trucking is like any other career. It doesn't matter what you do. You go into a career to better yourself financially, to take care of your life, you know, your day-to-day life, but also be able to get ahead with that. And the only way to do that is you need a financial plan, and you need to stick with that financial plan. You need to have goals for what you're doing, right? With what you're doing, you need to have goals. That's it. I came in with a few simple goals, and I just stuck with that plan. That's what I did. And I'm going to continue to do that. Going forward, I do plan on growing my trucking business. I do plan on growing that and continuing to invest in the stock market. That's what I do. It's very simple. I avoid debt. I'm out of debt. I'm staying out of debt. I have an emergency fund, and I invest consistently. And I invest consistently in everything. When I start a trucking business, I invest consistently in that. When I'm investing in the stock market, I do that consistently. Those are the two things I do. For those of you that want to buy real estate or do something else, you got to be consistent with that, whatever it is you want to do. But moral of the story, That's what I'm doing with trucking. I know I haven't made a video in a couple weeks. I'm in the process of moving. I've been very busy with that, been at home getting everything together for that, for those of you that were wondering. But I wanted to put out a video today before I hit the road. And yeah, God bless. Thank you for watching, and make sure you stay tuned for the next video. Peace out.